Studios to another maybe controversial kind of very people have opinions on this one, and that is the Monsters Inc. land coming to Hollywood Studios. And here, guests will be able to visit Monstropolis and enjoy Disney's first ever suspended roller coaster that will make our dream of flying among the doors a reality, which is something Josh Jamar said when he first saw Monsters Inc. And I quote, "All I wanted to do was ride on those doors like Mike and Sully." Mm-hmm. The most glorious rainbow ever, of course. So yeah, that's what you're gonna have. It's gonna be the first suspended coaster. They're gonna reenact the thing where the claws come and grab the doors and host them up onto the track into the air and take them away. That's what they're gonna recreate. So I'm curious to see how they do this particular ride system, how they pull that effect off. But that is coming to Monsters Inc. land. And the thing that's getting a lot of the Disney fan universe, we probably will bring this up in discussion, is where are they putting it?
Yeah.
What is going away for make room for this?
This to me was the best thing announced for Disney World at D23. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the idea of Villains Land. It can be amazing, but we all suspected that was coming. This one I did not see coming.
No, total surprise.
That was new.
Oh, yeah. I was really, really surprised by this one because this rumor has been out there for about 15 years. Mm-hmm. This door coaster has been out there. Jim Hill was talking about it back in 2008-ish, I believe.
Good Lord.
So, yeah, the first ever suspended coaster at a Disney park. And it just seems so perfect because unlike Tiana in a mountain, this ride actually fits the IP. It makes sense that you would be experiencing the door coaster. It just makes for a natural coaster ride. So that's awesome. I'm almost kind of glad that they waited because now we're getting a whole land on it as opposed to just getting that one little coaster ride.
Mm-hmm. And drum roll, you can see Harryhausen's.
There you go.
Harryhausen's, yeah.
She just touched on it. That's it. That's when I really popped. I was like, where's the eyeball? Where's the eyeball? Where's the eyeball? And sure enough, when I saw that, I was like, this is the greatest thing. So I'm ecstatic about this. I like the idea of going to Cars Land. I like Radiator Springs races, but I never thought about wanting to visit it. I never cared about walking around and seeing where Mater's shop was or anything like that. But Monstropolis, absolutely. I mean, that's a place instinctively you're like, oh, that'd be so cool to show up there. I mean, so many opportunities for cool visuals, psych gags, all that. So, and Harryhausen's, that just puts it over the top for me. So yeah, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait.
And so here's where the controversy goes. And so people are thinking, could it be Animation Courtyard or could it be Muppets area? And a lot of people are leaning towards the Muppets area. We're going to be losing that for this.
I remember when Jim Hill first started talking about it years ago, it was the Animation Courtyard behind there. And honestly, that makes the only place that makes sense to me because not that I'm just in love with Muppets. That's not much space there. Behind Animation Courtyard, they got all that space.
I agree.
Either they got to take away Rock and Roller Coaster, which I don't think they would because Aerosmith's just retired, but that's a lot of space.
You know, Emmy did some detective work on this, and she sent me this over where the concept art shows a water tower and these buildings, and she points out that it looks suspiciously like that water tower over there by Muppets, and then the surrounding buildings by it. Not exactly, it doesn't match up perfectly, but She was pointing that out, and she also says, like, yeah, I hear a lot about Animation Courtyard, but they're doing that
the Little Mermaid
show, so if they were doing that, why are they opening that, but they're making this? So those are good points that we made.
Yeah, but you know, Star Wars Launcher Bay is useless now.
Exactly.
So there doesn't need to have that much space dedicated to that.
Yeah.
IP be damned, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you could have Little Mermaid right next to all this. Mm-hmm. Apparently that's what they're doing with a lot of other IP stuff.
True.
They're shoving things. So just wherever they put that door, Monstropolis just lives right by the sea, I guess. I don't know. And
it makes sense to have Monsters Inc. land or whatever they want to call it right next to Toy Story Land because now you're building that whole Pixar. That whole area was Pixar Place at one point in time. Mm-hmm. So you can put various different Pixar franchises back there if you wanted to.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of potential.
Yeah, I agree. I think logic would say that it's going to be, I don't think they'll get rid of Animation Courtyard. I think they would get rid of Launch Bay and build it back there. Because there are more expansion pads back there.
Oh, good.
But I do agree with Emmy that the concept art looks like Grand Avenue and Muppets. Mm-hmm. Like those buildings. Like I know exactly what she's talking about. When I looked at the concept art, I was like, oh, that's Muppets Courtyard. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think visually it looks like Muppets Courtyard, but logically I think it makes way more sense over by animation.
Yeah, I just don't know where you're getting all that space from in Muppets Courtyard. I mean, it's just not a whole lot of space, right?
Yeah, so there's that. But I mean, if you look at, I'm looking at one of the concept art things here, but if you look at the entrance to the big factory, that front facade piece looks awfully like the animation courtyard stuff, you know, the exact same kind of awning, they just have to build out that big tall building right behind it to house the attraction, and then refacade the Disney Junior thing. They could easily do make it look like those buildings, and that has a lot of space up in there they could do. And then I guess right next to Harryhausen's is Little Mermaid. I don't know. It's definitely a possibility, but you hate to see it mentioned in Muppets because you'd be losing that attraction, which is a crowd gobbler, so to speak, and then you're losing 2 restaurants, you know, not the greatest restaurants, but I mean, the Mama Melrose been there forever. Yeah. And then, you know, you have a quick service kind of pizza thing. So it'd be a shame to lose all of that.
I was going to say, what about Star Tours? I mean, could that go?
I did read someone say that they've been talking about a Muppet redoing that whole space, including Star Tours, and getting rid of that.
That could be a possibility. But to your point, Kevin, I agree in the sense that, you don't lose anything going after Animation Courtyard. You really, I mean, if you got rid of Indiana Jones and that huge amphitheater over there, I don't think you lose anything over there. Where you would putting Indiana Jones in Animal Kingdom, right? Whereas I think you lose Muppet, you lose Star Tours, you lose, you know,
two attractions,
that are repeatable. Whereas Indiana Jones, you see it once, you've seen it.
With just one.
Yeah.
Technically, I guess it could be expansion area for Galaxy's Edge too. They want to go there,
right?
I just looked on Google Maps, and if they changed out the Muppets Courtyard, they would have to get rid of a road that's back there. Cypress Drive runs behind that. And you're right, the Muppets Theater really isn't enough space to do a roller coaster.
Yeah, you need a lot of space for that. So, which is why I'm sticking with Animation Courtyard area.
Okay,
I think there's more room to expand on that side than the Muppets area.
Well, as a Muppets fan, I really hope y'all are right.
Yeah.